The Anaheim Mighty Ducks, one of the most iconic names in all of sports cinema, have unfortunately over the last few years not lived up to that name. But with a big draft ahead of them, their luck can turn around immediately. Now, most years, the first overall pick isn't going to be a player who's projected to be a top 3 player in the entire world. So most years, Adam Fantilli will be a first overall pick. And a really good one at that. So with the second overall pick, it's almost locked in that the Anaheim Ducks are going to take the 6'2", 187-pound center from Michigan. The kid was an absolute animal this year. 30 goals, 35 assists for 65 points in 36 games as a freshman. The only other option they could take is Leo Carlsson, but I would take Fantilli over Carlsson as it stands right now. And although over the last few international tournaments, Leo Carlsson has shown that he can be a stable offensive weapon for any team. But I would say that the offensive upside for Fantilli is ridiculous. Fantilli's skating and edge manipulation is crazy. Couple that with his fantastic hockey IQ, shooting ability, his player comparison is Austin Matthews with wheels. So I'm not going to harp too much about Adam Fantilli. I'm almost positive that's what's locked in for pick number 2. And for Anaheim Ducks fans, I'm going to save you from listening to the same stuff you've heard for months now. So let's delve into something a little deeper. The 3 second-round picks that you guys have. Like I've been saying, this draft is unbelievably deep. There are fantastic players rounds 1 through mid-3, with great hidden gems in between that through the 7th round. So with 3 second-round picks, the Anaheim Ducks look really good to get some steals out here. So let's take a look at what the Anaheim Ducks future looks like right now if you add Fantilli into the mix. Now look at this projected lineup for the future. It is beautiful. But with 3 second-round picks, we can upgrade that even more. So let's take a look at some options. First off, with the almost guaranteed departure of John Gibson this year, and although they do have Calle Clang in the minors, from that trade with Pittsburgh, I believe that at least from what we have seen from him over the last 2 years of development, that he is not prepared to be a number 1 guy. A fantastic backup that'll be able to steal games for this team, but they need a number 1 guy. And with the first goalie projected to go in the 2nd round, and with the first pick in the 2nd round, their guy is going to be available if they want him. So here's the best goaltender in draft. 6'6", 216-pound goaltender. Michael Rabel, playing for the Omaha Lancers in the USHL and for University of Massachusetts. The Czech goaltender had a .908 save percentage and a 2.86 goals against average. For an Omaha Lancers team that didn't give him too much help, that is a good stat line. Aren't fantastic stats, of course, but as we know, goaltenders do take a lot longer time to develop than normal skaters. And with a 6'6" frame, and if you watch how calm, collected, and poised this kid is in the net, couple that with his positioning ability as well as his fast reflexes, the kid has all the tools to be a fantastic number 1 goaltender. It will take some time, and that is something that the Anaheim Ducks do have as long as they're not looking to compete in the next 2 to 3 years. Now, I believe that as soon as this kid comes up, or as soon as they can find a high-level goaltender who can play for them while he's developing, with the roster for the future looking so dangerous, I think that they can be a competitive team very soon. But I digress. Let's take a look at some other options for their other 2 second-round picks. Now, let's take a look at this lineup once again. What is it missing? Throughout the lineup, these guys are all fantastically skilled wingers and centers. But in my opinion, their biggest issue right now is going to be physicality. Although many of their star players do play with a certain level of grit, and with Fantilli coming in to do the same, they aren't completely defeated when it comes to battles of physicality, but they should be looking for players who can bring a lot of that to the team. And in the 2nd round, where they're projected to pick, I think there will be 2 great options available. Both players were described as being violent and also producing a good amount of offense and skill. That kind of a player is needed on this team. Although a guy like Kalen Lind is perfect for this team in this situation, more than likely he won't be available as the other 2 second-round picks that they have are a little later in the draft. Gotta go through this quick so I don't go over my time limit, so here we go. Colson Petrie, playing for the Flint Firebirds in the OHL. He scored 25 goals and 35 assists for 60 points this year in 59 games. And for a player who's considered to be violent, those stats are pretty solid. So he would be able to contribute offensively while also being able to be a top 4 checker and be the main physical presence on a line with skilled players. He would fit perfectly in this lineup because he can play center and wing, and they could use either of those depending on how they want to scramble their lineup. Next, we got another scary Terry, Carey Terrance, playing for the U.S. National Development Team, as well as the Erie Otters in the OHL. Now, although he didn't get great minutes on the U.S. National Development Team, let's take a look at his OHL year. With 30 goals and 17 assists for 47 points in 67 games. And like I said with Petrie, a guy who's fast, physical, and a dominant presence in the offensive zone as well as the defensive zone. If you put him with skilled players, he has shown that he can have a finishing touch while being that number 1 forechecking grindy player. Quickly, we got to run through this quick. With their other 2nd-round pick, no matter how they want to flip-flop it, they should take a right-handed defenseman. Go back and take a look at my projected lineup for the future again. The only right-handed defenseman that they have is Jamie Drysdale. Star potential. As I've been saying for a while, star potential in Jamie Drysdale. But he can't be the only right-handed defenseman on the team. That is simply not going to work. So here's my solution. The shutdown defenseman for the Barrie Colts in the OHL. Watching his film, I see that he is a fluid defensive defenseman who can be a shutdown player on any team. With more muscle and skating ability, he can be a top-line defenseman. Not a scorer, but a lockdown defender. I don't have time, but Aaron Benedium will also be a fantastic pick. Kid's potential's through the roof, needs a lot of development. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and comment the next team you want to see.